This is going to be recording 669. 669. Again, you can find me at ChristinaStacia918.com. Okay, so I've got more decode here, more crimes, connecting more pieces of crimes that Gene committed in the past. Also, going back to the Holy Bible and also making reports on terrorism that she's committed present day, and then going back again to terrorism that she committed in 2017 where ISIS was blamed. It was not ISIS, it was Gene Jernigan Roberts and her Manson occult. So, okay. So here we go. Let's see. Okay, so one of the first things I want to bring up is, okay, so remember I told you that I decoded, you got to see all my previous audio and see what I have turned in Tulsa Police Headquarters, unless I still have it here with me. Okay, remember when I told you that I decoded her doing the Black Plague in the past? That was her doing. She and her Manson occult released the Black Plague in the past, in the Middle Ages. Okay, and another crime that she also committed in the past was that I also decoded was the dancing plague. Okay, so the dancing plague, you can go read about it. There were deaths that all of a sudden just started happening, and people would just break out into spontaneous deaths. They almost, like, they're looking back in time, but people were like, did this really happen? Is this real? This is really real. This really happened. It's a real plague. And it's a real plague that she unleashed, okay? And it happened in 1518, okay? So anyway, Donald Trump just went to Malaysia for a visit, and I think he's there right now. Okay, so I was floated video on my phone of him dancing with Malaysians, and I know exactly what that means instantly. Okay, and someone just came on and told me, I don't know if it's his people speaking for him or him speaking directly, but he came on and he said, I didn't know this. I was not told this. I did not know this. But what you've decoded and what you're saying is true. So I'm affirming this is true, what you're saying. So because you've decoded it, you know for a fact, and I know you know for a fact, but I'm saying I did not know this. So, and they were saying also they did not know this either. They know that I decoded Gene Jernigan Roberts crashing the plane in Malaysia, which was this big controversial conspiratorial mystery, like it's a mystery plane crash, and it's not. When I lived in Slidell, I decoded it. Gene Jernigan Roberts crashed that plane, and Malaysia has known that Gene Jernigan Roberts and her Manson occult crashed the plane. Okay, so I decoded the whole crime. So anyway, so today is the 26th. Yesterday is when he was dancing with Malaysians. And so he's saying, and this is how you have to do in the silent war, if you're silently trying to communicate what's going on, just like me when I was sitting at my desk and I like did the snake, which is an old dance from the 80s, because I'm like saying there's snakes underground. So Gene Roberts she tries to control the whole AI environment. Like, she squawks the bird. You should have seen what she did yesterday. I was like, oh my God, somebody arrest her. She thinks she is the owner of the United States of America. I swear to God. But anyway, she flew an owl. I just got done busting her. And she just got done being caught. So you know her usual behavior. She's got an Annie Oakley, right? Anything you can do, I can do better. And then she's got to show out and show off. So hoping people still are like ebbing and flowing and oohing and awing at all our mic dropping, and people are just getting tired of it. So anyway, I'm just like, oh my God. So I'm sitting in the back and I'm smoking a cigarette, and I had just got done making reports about her solving crimes that she committed and turning her in again. And she got paranoid and pissed, and she literally used ice to fly an owl. It looked like an owl unless it was a hawk. It was a large bird, and landed it on the electric wire that runs across my backyard between the two electrical poles. And she had it sitting up there, and she was like telling everybody in my brain, she's talking to my brain at the same time, and she's using the bird and animating the bird, like she's robotically controlling the bird to move along with the speech that she's saying in my brain. And she's basically telling everybody that she's in control, she's in charge, and then she just wants me just to shut up, and then she tells everybody that I'm Illuminati. And then people start like yelling and groaning like she's the bad Illuminati or some stupid, like they're saying stupid shit. Like it's like this fake like 20-year-old like cheerleading camp of like dipwads and like dirty old men like feeding freaking Jean, and Jean's like up there like the queen, like she's the owl, and she's like, just everybody, just I'm in control, just leave Christine alone. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Stop ice raping people and animals. Stop. You're looking stupid up there. You're making yourself look guilty when everybody already knows you're guilty. I mean, stop. Like, I couldn't even help it. I started laughing. And then people that were on watching, they were like, look what Jean did in the backyard. And they're looking at the bird. And then people in my brain were like, they started laughing. They're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But anyway, so then people got upset. I got to say this. People got upset after that. And they're like, we're taking that from you. And so now they have the bird animated in my brain. And they like plucked Jean's eyeball out and everything. Jean Jernigan Roberts, Navy Gal 27. They're like, they take the bird away from her. They're like, you can't use those birds again. They're like chewing her ass out for it. So anyway, okay, so okay, so 1518 was when the dancing plague was. So anytime, okay, so AY, okay, the letter A and the letter Y. Okay, I told you already before, that's a letter exchange, okay? So A is short for and, the word and Y is an exchange for the word seen, and seen. So what does and seen mean? It means cut, it means the end, it's over, finito. Okay, so if you put and seen together, it's dancing. Okay, so anytime you see AY, you know when you're decoding crimes, if you see a Y in it, you can take the Y out and put the word seen in it. If you see an A in it, you can take the A out and put the word and in it. I don't even go that deep with all the decode anymore. I don't need to, because I more than prove it decoding at quick, easy levels, like what's obvious glaring there that everybody doesn't know. And then people review it and they're like, yep, Jean Roberts committed that crime. But you can keep going and going and going, doing all the letter exchanges, and it goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So anyway, so dancing, and so the dancing death, so you see how that's used even in history. It's used, I don't know how far back in time. A equals and goes all the way back to the Holy Bible. But it's not how God used the word and. It's how her people use the word and. See all recordings, see all decode. So anyway, and the Bible is translated, but I'm saying biblical people, godly people, they did not use it like that. So her people used it like that. But anyway, and then the A is the triangle, the middle bar on the A. That how you cross the line through the A, and they also know A is anarchy. Okay, so that bar, it goes down and it forms a triangle. Okay, and then that goes into a whole bunch of more decoded ciphers. And it also means delta, which also means death. DTH is also letter exchanges too. So, it goes down and it forms into a triangle. So you can use the triangle, and then people just use the A as 21, just blackjack 21, 11, ace or 11, which that's how she uses it. Because I can decode crimes and I can see the numbers and letters exchanges in that. And so I know it's either 21, ace, or 11. I know. So I've decoded all this. So it goes out into a whole bunch of more. So you can just think of it like that, just easy, like that, just A21 or A3, which is C, which is death. The C, the short C is a C wave. Out to sea. It's probably, someone said that probably goes to Viking death, is probably what it goes to. But anyway, so anyway, whenever you see dancing used, AY, AY is dancing. So if he's there and he's dancing and Malaysians are dancing, they're telling people it's terrorism, it's global terrorism, and they know that it is Charles Manson, a cult who is hiding underneath everything. One of Gene's leader, Gene Jernigan Roberts, is the leader of Charles Manson. The whole thing, like I told you guys before about Charles Manson, is she gets underneath everyone, everywhere, on everything. So how many different secret societies are there in this world? How many different people use ciphers? How many different everything everywhere? And then you're talking about she also uses legends. Okay, so like how she pulls in like ASCII code, she pulls in RGB. I can decode down to the finite. I decode like binary. Like when I learned how to add and subtract binary in computer science, which was like the vein of my, what is that? Not the bane of my existence. It was the bane of my existence. So is Linux. But anyway, it came in handy. The ones that what I loved in the computer science, I pay attention to what I loved and what I hated, because everything is significant, everything means something. So what I found was fascinating in computer science was the truth tables, the parity bits, the hyperthreading, and the oh my gosh, what was I gonna freaking say? There's something else in there. Oh my god, I can't remember what else I was gonna say. Oh my god, the gates. She's blanking my brain. The electrical gates. It completely fascinated me how electricity is used to create the computer chip, the electrical gates, the travel of the gates, and the gates open and close, and then if not an OR and XOR and all that, and then it travels this path or that path, and then I had to draw out diagrams and make sure every circuit was reaching every right path. That was completely beyond freaking fascinating to me. I freaking loved it. So anyway, so seeing him dance, you know literally that means, and you know that I just decoded more about Hillary Clinton and Hillary Clinton getting blamed for Benghazi. Hillary Clinton got blamed for Malaysia too. And that's not Hillary Clinton's doing. That is Gene Jernigan Roberts who committed that crime. Like it was on Hillary Clinton's watch. It has nothing to do with Hillary Clinton. Gene Jernigan Roberts crashed that plane. So anyway, I just decoded that. So them dancing, they're saying, we know whoever is controlling that scene on TV, they're signaling silently, we know this is terrorism. We know it's global terrorism. We know it's Charles Manson. We know it's worldwide. So, and again, I'm Christina Marie Stacia of Chandler, Arizona, grew up in Globe, born 11/13/71, decoding this, making these reports. Gene Jernigan Roberts has people pretending to be me everywhere. But you can get everything, all of this uncensored from me at ChristinaStation918.com. So anyway, okay, so that date was 10/25/25, and then if you put the 15/18 of the Dancing Plague, you can see how 15/18 is right there inside 10/25/25. You can see the 15 and you can see the 18. I didn't do all the math that I usually do, the 76, 71, and 37 minus the 15/18 or the 10/25/20. I didn't do all that math. But I mean, you can decode all that out. It's all going to decode out. And you can also see it was in 15/18, it was 7/15/18, and it was 9/15/18, which is 79. Again, Gene Jernigan Roberts is the one who committed the Iran hostage crisis in 1979. See all my recordings, see all decode. That was Gene Jernigan Roberts Manson occult. She will tell you it's everyone else's fault, but no. That's a shtick of hers. You've got to go through all my recordings. I tell you her whole little plot and scheme, how she works. She thinks she is the core of the sun, and everybody she points at is like a ray. It's a shtick. It's a con. It's everybody else's fault, and she's blameless. Gene Jernigan Roberts is the one who plans it and executes it. She's had her hands on stolen artificial intelligence since the 1950s. Well, not since the 1950s. She stole it in the 60s and in the early 70s. Artificial intelligence was invented in the 50s. So whoever's controlling my speech, trying to rearrange everything because you're out trying to lie to God knows who, God knows where, you may as well quit. 8 billion people know who you are and what you're doing, Gene Jernigan Roberts. Stop the lying. So anyway, but if you take 2025 minus 15/18, what is it? 507. So 5 plus 7 is what? 12. What is 12? 12 equals 0. So that tells you death, terrorism. So you see all code around 12 equals 0 and 24 equals 0. There is also a 30 in here somewhere. See all code on 30. I decoded all that too. Okay, so let me end this recording and stop this one. And then I'm going to start another recording.